Well, I guess there's something you don't see every day, huh? Okay, so I decided it was time to upgrade some equipment the way I was doing things. I bought this Titan 4500 lift. Seems to be sufficient for the job. I like it so far. You can flip the car over and do stuff with it, so that's pretty cool. Been going back and kind of looking at some of the cruddy welds that my old welder helped me out with, sputtering and spitting. So maybe address a few of those along the way. Got the frame rails welded in really to the final position. I guess I need to take those screws out eventually and fill those holes in. Not in a real hurry to do that. Project right now is try to get all these torque boxes and subframe connectors in. Here's the first one, and the way that thing fits in there is right like that. So your two kind of U-shaped holes there go right where your fender bolts go. All right, so that fits in. And then the rest of it's kind of up to you. You know, they got some pictures of it on there. If you look, you know, the fit right there is not really good. So I have a feeling there's going to be a tad bit of hammering involved. And then, you know, it's not great down there at the bottom, but I guess they had to make a decision and do it one way or another. Who knows if this car is straight. But that's the way they decided to cut the thing. If they'd have done any more, you know, like left you extras, it might have been nice to grind off some of that stuff, but I don't know, maybe everybody didn't have that capability or something. So that is what I'm doing right now. We'll see what it looks like when I get done. So there is a shot of the torque box on the front passenger side welded in. I did do a little grinding right here across the front because some of my wheel came up over the top. The rest of it looks pretty decent. You know, I'm not unhappy with that. I will say, you know, I think the most important part is to have your frame rail and your rocker panel tied together there. This is, I believe it's 1/8 inch, and probably by the time you put the 3 layers or 2 layers here of rocker panel together, you've got a little less than that, but you can use about the same heat setting all the way across. And I talked a little bit about the fit. It's not that it doesn't fit good, it's just that you have to do some doing on it. Especially like this section was sticking up away from the frame rail while this touched in the back. And the way I kind of compensated for that is really with heat and a hammer. So I would weld a little bit along the bottom until, you know, the gap became to the point that I didn't like the gap. And then because, you know, you're putting a pretty good amount of heat in that little section, it makes the rest of it bend pretty easy. So I'd tap on it with the sledge to get that this part to lay down along the gap, and then did the same thing up around the front. I was happy with how all that fit. This section back here, you can see kind of a scab patch here. So it didn't touch the floor pan right there, and there was too much of a gap just to dump weld into it. I mean, you can do that, but not really the approved method. So I had some pieces of similar metal. I just cut a small patch right here and then scabbed it on top of it. So welded there and then welded to the floor pan. And, you know, it's a solid piece. So how much difference it makes, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do everything I can to stiffen the car along the way. So I'll do the other one and then maybe get back to a video when I have started on the either the ones in the back that go kind of in this section, or when I start messing with the subframe connectors, which go, you know, front to back along there. And if you're going to do the subframe connectors and the torque boxes, you don't do the rear torque boxes until you do the subframe connector, because they weld together, if I remember the picture properly. But I'll research that before I do it. Okay, here we go.